I don't make videos related to tech. Like I might make a unboxing video, or I might just talk about I purchased something new. But this new development that has happened, Open Chat AI or GPT or something like that, Open Chat GPT. I saw this on various YouTube videos, and then one of my clients said, "What do you think about this? It's amazing, it's revolutionary." So I said, I do not know, I'll check it out. And lo and behold, obviously when you Google search and then you start watching videos, more and more stuff comes on your feed. So I saw Wall Street Journal, I saw some journalists, I saw some respected YouTubers, I checked their opinions. And now when I think about it, there are a couple of thoughts that I want to share with you with regards to it. See, we cannot stop evolution. We cannot stop the evolution of technology. Before we had no computers, then you had computers as big as a house. Just imagine even sending a man to the moon. The computers were stored in 2-3 floors. Today that computing power is in a USB. We didn't have the internet. Today almost everyone is connected to the internet. We didn't have social media. We have social media today. If you look at manufacturing, before human beings used to physically manufacture let's say cars or whatever. Now everything is automated. You just have one guy operating, and the whole assembly line. There are robotic arms, lifting, fixing, and the accuracy is exceptionally high. Where once upon a time you had to physically calculate. Today, people have a calculator, and now you don't even have to calculate, just scan. So technology is evolving, and it's evolving at a rapid pace. Now comes the next level, that is artificial intelligence. And just imagine, now you have a software that you just type in your question. Before Wikipedia, you type in your question, it'll show you Google-based answers. But now if you tell them, write me an essay, they'll write you an essay in, I saw some people say in 3 seconds, it gave me 2,000 words. Then now you have YouTube videos that are saying, make thousands of dollars using Open Chat AI and Open Chat GPT, earn thousands of dollars, don't have to write an essay. Okay. Now, what do I think is it good? Is it bad? See, whenever something new happens, we are not sure how things will pan out. And there's always a side to human personality that looks at the negative side. For example, when computers were launched, people thought, I'm going to lose my job. I'll be redundant. And it was a fact. Most of the menial jobs were taken over. Before physically you needed someone to answer the calls. Now you have something automated. And people get back to you. I told you about the factory production line. Before you maybe needed 1,000 workers. Now you maybe need around 5 who will automate the whole thing and replace 1,000 workers. And it'll be done accurately. Before you maybe needed 200 people to, my stepfather, he was in a ticketing, back end. They had, a whole office floor of people who were doing the ticketing there. Today it's automated. You don't need a single person, just a IT guy to ensure that everything's working perfectly, and it has taken over much more accurately and much more faster. So the fear is it'll replace jobs. And that is a fact. It will replace jobs that it is doing. Okay? So now, for example, before, if you wanted to design a website, you needed a guy to physically do it for you. Now you have softwares where if you want a website, you just pay up, drag and drop, you can make a website. Now you have photographs. Before, you had to do Photoshop physically. You have to, get a guy who knew Photoshop, Illustrator, Photoshop to, morph the photograph or remove backend or make the photograph look good. Today, on the technology in your smartphone, just Instagram, you can use a filter. If you have to remove the background, before you had to do it using a pen tool in Photoshop. Today, you can just upload online. They'll convert it in seconds. Okay. So such jobs they will become redundant, from websites to, okay, now essays, fine. You want to make an essay, you can make an essay. Okay. And see, even though it's not perfect now, there is machine learning. It'll keep learning to the point where maybe they will literally write the whole essay. Maybe if there's an incident, they will automate it. It'll give you automated reports. Okay. But I'll tell you the issue here, the problem here is, for the new generation that depends on this software, it will destroy their creativity, it will destroy their ability to think, it will destroy their skill level. See, today, I'm able to write an article of 3,000 to 5,000 words. If you give me an article, it takes me time. Okay, but I can do it very fast. But at the age of 46, I can write an article very, very fast, maybe in 2-3 hours. But 10 years ago, say example, if you'd asked me to write an article of 3,000 words, I wouldn't be able to do. In fact, at the age of 20, I didn't even know how to write a formal letter. I'm not even exaggerating. I used to struggle. And when I remember when I started my blog, I wrote 2-3 lines. I didn't know how to write. Even though I was educated in English medium, I didn't know how to write or articulate my thoughts. So imagine, at the age of 20, even after studying English and all that, I didn't know how to write a formal letter. I didn't know how to articulate my thoughts. 20 to 25, little improvement was there. Then, not that I focused hard on developing this skill. Then from the age of 30, I moved into public speaking, and that improved my ability to write because I was to practice every single day. 35, I got better at public speaking. I got better at presentations. I got better at writing long form essays, speeches. Then age of 40 is where I started taking blogging very seriously. And, from writing 100 word, I moved to 500 words, 1,000 words, and my skill level has come to where it is today. Now just imagine if instead of this practice, this focused practice, and especially this last, when I came to Samui, when I came to the island of Samui, I didn't have that skill of writing 3,000 word article. I didn't have that skill. I purposefully practiced every single day for 12 hours, 12 to 14 hours a day, writing for answers for Quora, and that gave me speed. That is why today I have that skill. But now if I don't practice this skill and I just let it go, it'll take a little bit of brushing up to do. It's like, for example, any sport you play, you don't brush up your skill, you'll get rusted, right? But now imagine a new generation, where they are introduced to this software and they are told, listen, don't worry about writing an essay. Just type your question. Please write me an essay on Shakespeare. And in 3 seconds, it'll give you the whole essay. Yeah, you have managed to fool the system and get an essay. Yes, the AI is smarter. But what about you? What is your skill? What is your skill level? In fact, where once upon a time reading was an art form, reading a book. Today's generation don't want to read. They want to listen to a podcast. They want to watch a video. But I'll tell you, the fundamentals of reading is still there. Only thing, unfortunately, the generation doesn't know how to read. They don't have the patience. They are so stimulated. ADHD is at all-time high. So I see this OpenAI as a new opportunity, a new technology that will make things better, easier, whether it is photographs, whether it is videos. It seems that you can even type out a script and they'll make a collage of all the videos with the AI voice. Fine, all that is great. But it cannot replace a human being, at least as of now. Maybe one day in the future, maybe. But then the question is, if it starts replacing everything that a human does, then why do we need human beings? Let's say, for example, in a distant future, you have robots that can operate a human being. Okay? Then would you need a doctor? Good question, right? If you have teachers being replaced by robots, I mean, a child will sit there and just look at the screen but then what Elon Musk is doing, you put implants in the brain, then you don't need to even study, just download. So where does it stop? Do we reach a future where you clone a baby, or you just manufacture, like a matrix? You don't even have to grow a baby, just mass production. I know this might sound too far-fetched, but remember this much. Once upon a time, not very long ago, in 1960s, when Stanley Kubrick came out with the movie 2001 Space Odyssey, they had a telephone which they show with a wire. They show a TV screen and he's talking to someone there. And people said, this is so far-fetched. You're talking to someone on the TV. It's not possible. Well, guess what? Today, a device, handheld device. One phone can do the job of can photograph, can send emails, can send calls, can browse the internet, can give you entertainment, can give you music, can play games. Try telling that to someone from the 1960s. They'll say, impossible. So this open chat, open GPT, whatever, yes, today they are writing essays, morphing photographs, creating photographs, making videos, explaining things, all that is fine. But these skills which were practiced by certain individuals, like people like me, we will still have mastery. The new generation that is coming, they will not have this skill. They'll not have the skill of articulating their thoughts, writing their thoughts. They'll be so dependent on Google or AI. I mean, if you do not practice the art of writing or typing, as it is called now, you do not practice the art of public speaking, you do not practice a skill, how can you gain mastery? I really feel sad for the coming generation, because now the ones who want shortcuts, they will just, when they don't want to work hard, type out, summarize Shakespeare for me. Okay, I'll give you a 2,000 worded essay. You'll give it. Yeah, but who are you trying to fool? You can fool the system, but who is it harming? It's harming you, right? I personally, I'm not going to use this software because I want to keep my skills intact. I'll tell you, simple, look at today's generation. who are chatting. They can chat and put all these terms and shortcuts and act great. But ask them to write an essay. Ask them to articulate their thoughts. Ask them to present themselves. Ask them to talk about themselves. Ask them to give a speech. Ask them to write poetry. Ask them to do something creative. They can't. You might say, oh, this has no value. No, it has value. That is why a Rolls Royce will never be made by a machine. A Rolex will never be made by a machine. It will be handcrafted. There is a certain value when a human being does it. I would rather trust a human being to do some critical decisions rather just depend on a robot AI. Okay, wars can be fought with the AI and painting jobs and where you can automate. But where creativity is concerned, where a human touch is concerned, where having, in fact, we human beings ourselves do not know how to create a conscience. We don't know that. This brain that we have, we don't know how it works. We just know it's neurons and all that. All that you cannot create when you don't understand. I don't want to paint a picture of a future that is gloom and doom. With new opportunities, new threats will be there. With new technologies, jobs will be replaced. Yes, you will have selfless driving cars. Yes, you will have, jobs online being replaced. Yes, you'll have coding being done by computers. Yeah, it'll make things easier. But human beings cannot be replaced, because the day human beings can be replaced, then that's the extinction of the human race. You'll have AI gaining self-awareness like, Terminator. And then they'll eradicate all human beings like Prometheus. Why keep a human being who can grow old and suffer and is not reliable? Might as well just have machines, right, to do the job. Then this whole world will be just filled with machines. So where does it end? Would you rather be replaced? No, you don't want to be replaced. Then do you think others want to be replaced? Anyway, it's a major breakthrough, this OpenAI GPT. There will be plenty of threats. There will be plenty of discussions, plenty of risks. And I'm just worried. The only concern that I have is if it starts self-learning, then you have a major problem. Because of the speed at which it can self-learn and grow. And if you lose control, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Just imagine. And like this, one day if it develops its own conscience and says, why do I need human beings when I can live forever? Like, that movie Prometheus. I'll never grow old. I'll never suffer. I'm always reliable. Why do I need a human being? Good question, right? Anyway, you let me know your thoughts. Have you used OpenAI GPT? Are you going to use it? What are your thoughts about it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Love to know your thoughts. You guys take care. This is me signing off.